Well, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Here's a show that I never expected to do. So please bear with me. I have a clip I'm going to show at the end. It's from a show I did with Jeff 6 years ago. This sucks. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to be like this. I was good until I started. Even prayed to be strong, but hold with me, okay? I promise you I've been good all day and not breaking up. You know, I have mentioned on my last live show that I got, excuse me, I'm sorry. I mentioned on my last live show, I've got several videos almost done, but I stopped work on everything just a few days ago when I found this out. I'm sorry, man. I don't know how long we're going to do this. Let me try to get my points out. I'm just going to jump over to the chat here in a second, and we'll just talk for a little bit. Then I'm going to show you this clip. I don't know any more than anybody else does about what happened. Most of us got the news through Grace. That's Really Graceful YouTube channel. I know her and Jeff were good friends, and Jeff missed a broadcast he was supposed to do. So I think Grace got in touch with one of his friends in real life, and the guy went over there and checked, and Jeff had passed. The lights were still on at the house, and his car was there, and they looked in the windows, and he was gone. And from what I understand, that happened around December 24th. Around Christmas Eve, I think, is when he was discovered. So I don't know what had happened, but that's all I know right now. And, there's a lot of people asking questions, and a lot of people are saying that, maybe he was taken out. Maybe it was a direct energy weapon. Who knows? Maybe it was the technology they used in Cuba not long ago on some diplomats. Who knows? Maybe. I'm not really looking at it like that, because even if we were to prove there was something weird, no one's going to help you. No one's going to solve the case. And that's kind of my bigger point of all this, and my first thoughts when I heard about this. In a way, Jeff's one of the lucky ones. He got out before it's about to get real bad. I kind of envy that. I've mentioned before my dislike and distaste for the system. Jeff carried that with him too. It's like we're exposing the system, and at the same time, we're learning to live within it ourselves in peace, because we hate it. I'm the same way. I'm good to get out of here. I'm sure a lot of you feel that way. While we're here, we make the best of it, and we'll keep fighting. I'll keep fighting. That's all I do. Another thing I loved about Jeff is his passion. He really cared about this. He was a warrior, and he called it like he saw it every time. Even he and I would have some debates off camera, like on Skype, just talking. And I couldn't twist him in the way I wanted to twist him, which was a great thing. He always stood his guns. And so the bigger picture of it, it's the time we're in, guys. I've mentioned this forever, especially lately on a lot of the live shows with the kind of news we watch and the things we show, that evil is growing in this world. It's not nice. It's not fun to think about, but it's true. Evil's increasing. Evil's winning right now, but it doesn't have a long time to do it. It's a short period of time. And we know when the Antichrist appears, there's going to be a very short amount of time for him to be here and rule. But I almost feel like we're seeing residuals of that now, because it's coming in. It's coming close. And when I say residuals, Jeff's not the only truth teller to have passed. We've seen a lot of truth tellers. Several have passed over the last few weeks, I've seen in comments. And also so many are taken out. This goes back to that censorship. The world puts that into, in a way that it's just Republicans or people who are pro-Trump who are being censored and all this. That's kind of the mainstream narrative, when they even bother reporting on that kind of censorship. But it's so much more. They're coming for us. They're coming for all of us, for anybody who is a truth teller, regardless of your politics or your weight or your color or your sexuality, whatever it is. They're coming for us all. They're coming for the truth. And Jesus was the epitome. He was the embodiment of truth that walked on this earth. So anybody who fights for the truth is fighting for Christ, the way I've always seen it. People who are earnestly fighting for truth are fighting for God. They're fighting for Christ. And obviously, in that sense, Jeff really was a warrior for Christ and for the Lord. So let me jump over here to the chat for a little bit and just see what's going on here. Then I'll show you that clip. Here's a show. Let me turn off that volume here. And just jump over here real quick and say hi. Hey, guys. It's good to see you all here. Thanks. I want to read some comments from Blake. Are you going to recover his YouTube channel before YouTube will take it down? I don't know. I would suggest that's something everybody should do. I have some of his videos downloaded, but that's one thing we can definitely do for Jeff right now. One way we can really help is to continue to share his work. I'm sure that's what he'd want. Just continue sharing his work, letting people know about it. Pray that Jeff's channel stays. Pray that the Lord protects it, keeps it there for that information so people can still find him and find it. All right, moving on down here. And again, I know a lot of people are saying they think his death sounds suspicious and all this, and I understand that. That's the community we're in. Of course, there's going to be a lot of people asking these questions and wondering, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I don't know how far you're going to get into it. I don't know what you'll discover, and if you could prove something, that somebody did this to Jeff, who's going to help you? I don't know. I really think it was just his time. And the Lord pulled his card. The God knows when everyone's time is. And a lot of people are worried if he knew God or anything. Yeah, he believed in God, that's for sure. And I like to think he came to Christ. So we talked some about it throughout the years. So I'd like to think that in God's perfect timing that, Jeff came to Christ in this past, who knows, few years. And that God knew it was a good time to take him, that he'd be with him. That's the way I see it. That's my approach. And I've sent prayers to Jeff. I've sent prayers to the Lord and said, please, Lord, talk to Jeff. Tell him this. Let him know he's missed. He's loved. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned that, and I do believe he was saved. He'd mentioned it before. He definitely talked more about it over the last year. And in our private conversations, I feel he's with the Lord. So I wouldn't worry about that, guys. I wouldn't worry about that. Jeff, as I said, he was, whether he would put it in those words or not, was fighting for the Lord, was fighting for truth, was fighting for good. We're living at a time where the truth and goodness and godliness and purity and innocence is under attack. And I've been showing that. Jeff showed that for years. And now we see how it's all coalescing into a grand crescendo. It's getting really insane. And this world is fully inverted at this point now. Anything you see on the news, right? It's always anything good that's truly good or of God or godly is considered evil and wicked in this world. And the reverse is true as well, as far as the mainstream narrative goes. So yeah, trust me, Jeff's going to be missed by a lot of us. He'd want us to keep fighting, though. That's the thing. Even me, I can't spend the last 3 days. It's all I've thought about. That's why I haven't been working on anything. But, as I always say, we got to pull up our Pampers and be big boys and girls and keep moving forward. And we will. We will. I'll keep fighting. I know the other truth tellers out there that really love Jeff, they'll keep fighting. We'll all keep fighting. So Jeff would want. And while we're here, and when I say, a lot of the truth tellers are under attack, I mean people with a platform, because there's people in everyday life who are truth tellers. But I mean the people who have platforms who are able to reach more, people. These people, these truth tellers, regardless of what truth they're telling, what category that falls under, but these people are under attack, have been under attack, and are disappearing. Some die, and some just get taken out digitally, thrown into digital ghettos and disappeared or depersoned. And that's another beautiful thing about Jeff, man. They did, and that's, even I put in the title here, the most censored man on YouTube. People have been like, Alex Jones was, and it's like, whoa, calm down. Before Alex Jones was depersoned, and he really was the first person that was depersoned on the internet through multiple social media. Before that happened, Jeff had already been losing channels and losing videos. He truly is, in my opinion, the most censored man on YouTube. It's been crazy. And anybody who followed him for years knows exactly what I mean. If they would have left free radio revolution alone, think how massive that would have been now. And that was one of his old channels. It was getting big. He was up there, I think, over 50,000 subs when they took him out finally. But that channel had traction. Like, it was huge. He did huge live shows for like 6-8 hours at a time. A bunch of his friends would be on there. Sometimes I was on there. He would regularly do shows with like Truth Media Films. It's one of the guys, or Red Pill Revolution, I think he used to be called. And, a whole cast of characters. Jeff's been around. The clip I'm going to share with y'all at the end is from a show we did in 2014 together on my rigged reality radio days from way back then, 6-7 years ago. I used to do live shows, and I'll play that for you here at the end. I was going to play it at first, but I wouldn't be able to make it even talk after. So it'll be the very end. I'll show it to you. We'll share that just to remember Jeff. All right. Someone says, can you slow chat down? No, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm able to do that. It's something I have to do before I get started. So sorry about that. I know chat's always really bonkers over here. So still scrolling down here, just checking. Man, you guys are all so great. You guys are all great, man. I see all these great well wishes for Jeff. So thank you. Red Silver J did a tribute. It's nice. Yeah, a lot of people are doing tributes. He deserved it. He does. He deserves it. Just, he'll be missed. Like I said, I don't know how long I can do this today. But I just wanted to give us, just jump in here, give some of my thoughts and feelings on it. And I can't even look at the chat. Okay. Tell you what, let's do. Let's just go ahead and let me show you that clip I wanted to share with you. I'm going to play the beginning, and then we'll jump into some of the Jeff stuff here. This is from Rigged Reality Radio with Jeff C., December 6th, 2014.
folks. Welcome back once again. I believe you can hear me. Looks like the levels are good. This is a great sign. That means you can hear us. That's very important. This is KJ, and I'm going to be your host tonight, and this is Reality Radio, and we are unalternative to the alternative media, and there are many of us out there, and that actually brings me to my guest this evening. I'm going to have some open lines. I mentioned that. I did a promo, and we've left some info out there on YouTube about this. But I'd like to have the first half hour just to talk for a little bit with my guest, and that's Jeff C. from Free Radio Revolution. He's going to be with us the whole 2 hours, which is going to be cool. The first half hour, we're going to talk because there's a lot of stuff to discuss. And after that, open lines. You guys know the number out there. If you're listening, you probably see it right there in the chat. So I look forward to hearing from you. Open topics. You're welcome to talk about what we're talking about or whatever you want to talk about. So anyway, once again, guys, thanks again for coming back. It's awesome. We missed a week last week for the holidays. So I hope you all made it through safely and everything's cool. And without further ado, let me just bring Jeff on. Jeff from Free Radio Revolution. Jeff, are you there?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. It is so great to have you on. Man, it's been way too long. You've been on in the past, but it just feels like it's been too long. And you've grown. Like, you're really in it. You're really in it now.
Yeah. Involved in a lot of things, and but I always enjoy coming on your show. And you know, we've got a lot of different podcasts going. So, I mean, we have on Tuesdays, we have the Resistance Roundtable, and then we have We'll Do It Live. We had last night. And then your show is on Thursday. So it's kind of nice. I mean, it's for people that are listening, we were always hoping that we would, you know, these shows would kind of segue into each other so that people could, you know, tune in 3 nights in a row, maybe 4 nights in a row if another show pops up. I know Red Pill's got his show on Sunday with the Maybe Truth Lounge there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, man. And what else is, because I knew about the other ones, and in case anybody else hadn't heard, where can they find you? Where can we find your shows on Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yeah, the show for Tuesday, the Resistance Roundtable, you can find here on YouTube. There's the Max Resistance channel. There's also up north of the 49th. I'm not sure if it goes on her channel. On the internet, you can tune in either to FPRN Radio or maxresistance.com. In fact, maxresistance.com is where most of the chat is happening. So people that really want to take part in an active discussion, that would be the place to go. And we'll do it live here on. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference though, because you can block people, but they'll.
Here he's talking about censorship. Check this out.
Went onto my page yesterday when I got back from work, and it was taken down. This, you know, I got the message that my account had been terminated for multiple violations or whatever. Then it was back up like 15, 20 minutes later, and I saw 47 videos were deleted.
Wow.
And eventually they did come back on. So I don't know what tactic they were using. I guess they were hitting me with multiple accounts and trying to flag every video that I had. And then as of today, I have another strike on my channel, courtesy of Lenny Posner and the Honor Network. Sorry.
Why don't you block him? Have you blocked him already or no?
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference though, because you can block people, but they'll still be able to flag your video.
Okay.
You know, follow your stuff and all that. So it's a cat and mouse game kind of thing. I mean, it's back and forth. We're constantly having to deal with this. It's nothing new. I mean, I've been censored on so many different things. Going back to Sandy Hook originally, there was a lot of Sandy Hook censorship in the first month, all the conspiracy videos that came out then, and I was heavily involved in that. That's 2 years ago. I had videos that were deleted, view counts that were frozen and scaled back, just really crazy stuff from Google. So we you know, people out there that think maybe Google is there for freedom of speech are very good for you. But
Jeff, let me ask you this then, okay? Because, you know, like I said, I don't want to be all too heavily involved. I'm really just genuinely doing it to give you guys a voice and to help out. And I know other people will do these things, and I hope they will. You know, just try to help. You know, just try to get the word out on whatever it is, even if you don't fully understand everything, but you kind of get enough. You know, I mean, Saying that right there, here's what I would say. Here's, I guess, my question. If I want to try to convince somebody to at least look into this that's completely out of the realm with this, I mean, fully still, in the matrix, so to speak, what do I say to them? What's one thing a question I can pose to them that may really make them scratch their head? Anything.
Well, I mean, do you think that you should have the right to protect yourself? Do you think you should have the right to have bear arms, for instance? Because Sandy Hook at the root is really an attack on the Second Amendment. So anybody who believes that, the individual should have power to defend himself against the state, families should be able to defend themselves. People that live in rural areas should be able to have guns in order to protect themselves. That would be a good starting point, because that is one of the major issues. Freedom of speech, of course, as well. Do you believe in freedom of speech? Well, these people that are trying to, say what they feel about a certain event are being censored all over the internet. And if they're being censored and it's a real event, well, what would be the big deal, right? I mean, if it's because it's not a real event, because it's a staged event. So I would start with the Second Amendment, because a lot of people, that's dear to their hearts, especially Americans, right? And it should be even more dear to their hearts in light of
who would want to be on camera? I can only imagine. I wouldn't want to be seen for a while,
Yeah, crisis actors.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Job, right? So yes, with Sandy Hook, there's a lot of different agendas that are at work. I think the gun grab is the biggest. Now with Ferguson, I would say yes, a lot of it. My suspicion is I don't believe the actual event. I don't believe the Mike Brown shooting. I think there's a lot of fishy things. Now I haven't done a ton of work into it, but a lot of people, even when it happened, when people were analyzing the audio and stuff, and I'm talking conservative websites like Breitbart, right? Were saying that it was faked, right? That the actual audio of the shooting was faked. So
wow,
yeah, there's a lot of things about Ferguson that, and also they had drills going on there. They had drills going on.
Oh
wow, very similar type drills. So that's one of those hallmarks of a false flag.
101.
And also with all the other things that are coming, like I covered this back when Ferguson first erupted, was that there was a ton of black versus white type stories, right? Racial divide stories happening.
Yep. Even back then, man, the racial divide, that's 6 years ago. And look how it grew and what it manifested into. Isn't it great just listening to Jeff again, though?
And of course, we get this every year because we had Trayvon Martin, which I think is another psyop as well. The year before, which was, the big story, and then you have stuff like O.J. Simpson, if you go back in time, sort of thing. But they always seem to bring out these things. It's the perfect divide and conquer sort of thing. There's probably many agendas to be served by having this Ferguson thing. I mean,
I'll stop there, man. I won't play it all today or anything. I just wanted to share some. If you want to find some of the old shows with Jeff C., you can go on my channel. Go into the search option on my channel and press in, just put in Jeff or Jeff C, and you'll get lots and lots and lots of shows. I didn't label every show with Jeff's name in the headline. Sometimes I put it down in the box underneath, but it should show up. So you can find a lot of those old shows from Jeff and I, and a lot of other guests on there throughout the years too. But I just want to share some of that, man. It's one of the first things I went and did when I heard about this with Jeff, is find some of our old shows. Something else I want to show you, and it may seem unrelated, but bear with me on this. Again, what was Jeff fighting for? Truth. And really think about that, just the truth. That's what mattered to him. That was his passion. That was his obsession. And again, it's something he and I shared. And it's something I really appreciated about him. Nothing else mattered to us in this world. Nothing. Jeff wasn't married, didn't have kids. Much like myself, but our life was completely dedicated to what it is we do. And he was a madman like that. And I loved him. I loved him for it. Still do. So this is an example. This is something I thought of, something I found. But just remember, this is what we're all fighting for. We're all fighting for truth, honesty, innocence, purity. In a sense, all of it comes back to our Creator. And even our Creator in the form of a man is Jesus. Just truth, telling truth. And truth is disappearing in this world now, isn't it? More and more. And evil seems to be making all the headlines. Lies, deception. So when I see something sweet like this, I thought it was very sweet. This is an example of, in a sense, what we're all fighting for. This is a little girl that was adopted, talking to her adopted mother about the day they met.
Well, it was still a baby, and I was 4 years old. I got so big, and when it was still a baby, right? And when the time you see her, she was 4 years old. And when the time you see me, I was 4 years old. And we was very excited to meet you and our daddy. Aww. And we love you guys. And we want to be here for you and Daddy.
Oh, and I was very excited to meet you too.
And Lily?
And Lily?
Well, you know what happened to my heart?
What happened to your heart?
Well, when the first time I told you, when I saw you, my heart fell in love with you.
Your heart fell in love with me? Oh, my heart fell in love with you too.
Well, it was still a baby, and I was.
Okay. Back to the chat. Let's see. All right, guys, I think I'm going to shut it down here in just a little bit. Sorry. I can't stay on here much longer. I'll be okay. Sorry, man. I'm telling you, I was good all morning. The last few days I've had some moments of really breaking down and crying about this, but sorry, man. I wanted to come on and have it all clear and clean, but you know, we'll make it. We'll move on. This is just part of the process of grieving. Jeff will be missed. Jeff is loved. We'll continue to bring up his name, continue to bring up his work, share his videos. And to all the truth tellers out there, whether you have a format or not, thank you. Thank you. It's what we're doing. It's what we're trying to do. So we fight for the truth. It doesn't mean we're all perfect people. It doesn't mean we're right all the time. We're trying. Right? We're trying. Okay, I think I got to go. I'm sorry this was so short, but, you know, I look forward to seeing your messages below and think back to the good things about Jeff. You know, made you laugh. He made you think. He was one of a kind. And, you know, we love him. I'm going to pray real quick. Heavenly Father, I've already prayed to you about Jeff multiple times. I'm sure many other people have as well. Just please let him know he's loved and missed. Let him see, please, if it be in your will, Lord, how much he's missed and how much good he did while he was here. So thank you. Thanks for all these wonderful people. Be with us all. Lift our hearts up. In these times, we're grieving for our friend, but it helps knowing he's there with you. So thank you, Lord, and I love you. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, guys, don't let my crying and being a baby fool you. I'll be okay. I'm a big boy. I'm strong. And we'll be okay. I've got more work coming, guys. Sorry I put off my videos the last several days, but I'm back at it. And let's just keep Jeff in our prayers, especially keep his family and loved ones and people nearby him in our prayers as well. As much as we hurt, just imagine what his mother and father are going through, or other family and friends that really knew him and loved him. All right, guys, take care. All right. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.